beige, rose gold, silver, just some of the formulas I'm asked for frequently. But what tones make up all of these shades? Well, keep on watching because this video has every shade of blonde. Hello and welcome to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me, I'm Craig, and this is my channel where we get into all things hair and sometimes a little bit of beauty. But today we're talking toning, tones of blonde. Goodness me, I get so many questions about what shades make up what tones and how to make beige, how to make mushroom, that's a popular one, how to make rose gold, how to make strawberry blonde, etc., icy, silver, etc., etc., etc. Now, I have an entire toning playlist here on my channel. Oh yes, it's packed full of toning videos for how to create formulas for red hair, copper hair, blondes, get rid of brass, all of them. My finger just clicked then, did you? Oh, and again, did you just hear that? All of those shades. So I thought it made sense to make a blonde one and put them all in together. But before we get into all of those shades, we just need to talk about this. Of course, we couldn't have a video without me reminding you that if you enjoy this and find it helpful or anything else on my channel, come to think of it, this is a place which is all about education, whether you're a hair pro like me or a consumer at home, education to give you or your clients the best hair that you or they can have. So if you enjoy it and find it helpful, you know what to do. You sharing it with a friend really helps, or liking it or turning on your notifications means that my content will get pushed out to more people. So first of all, we need to talk about two things. The first thing is canvas is everything. What I'm going to share with you today is all based on a level 9 lift. Why am I doing that? Because that means that you will get the result that you want, okay? So a level 9 lift, yes. A level 7 lift won't give you the same result because a level 7 lift has a very different undertone. I do get comments sometimes in that you should do blondes on level 6s and you should do blondes on level 7s and 8s and all of this stuff. And it's like, well, no, I can't, because I can't give you every single base and every single result. We'll be here till the cows come home. Moo. And it just doesn't work. So I work on a very translucent canvas because that's the sort of canvas I like to work on. Obviously, if you use any formula on something that is deeper and has more warmth, then it's going to be very different. So that's the first thing. And then secondly, very briefly, color is subjective. I say that a lot now. All hair color is subjective. So if I talk about something later on in the video that's about vanilla blonde and you don't think that that's what makes up that tone, that's completely fine. But let's not, have any argy-bargy about it, because color is subjective. We all see it differently, which is incredible and wonderful in equal measures. Okay, and we're gonna do this fast and furious, so let's go. I have my iPad because we're going to whiz through this. Sometimes I get comments where people say that I waffle on. Well, I'm an educator and it's important for me that I get information across to people. This isn't just me here trying to be a rock star or me here trying to increase my profile. This is about me sharing things with you, okay? So we're going to try and go as fast and furious as I can. I'm going to pop the color wheel on screen here, okay? That's the crux of all of this. It's really important. Remember, we're working on a level 9 here, on a level 9 canvas. And I'm going to, and then when I have I've lost my train of thought there. If I have an example of a result that I have achieved on a client or on a model, then I will pop that on screen on this side. Just to mention before we get into it, I can't give out individual formulas. It's impossible remotely. I know a lot of you want me to take the responsibility and tell you what to use, but it just doesn't work like that, I'm afraid. It's just too tricky, even with all the information in all the land. Right, so let's start off with warm tones. There are lots of icy and pastel tones coming up later too, and some top tips. So let's start off with warm tones. Let's mention gold, okay? So gold hair contains yellow. So if you have a level 9 canvas, it's gonna have very little yellow in it. It's gonna have some gold in it, but then you would add extra gold into it to get a result like this. So a gold result basically contains yellow, so gold. Vanilla let's talk very briefly here about Vanilla Blonde. Vanilla Blonde, in my opinion, is warm. I get a lot of people who leave comments saying that Vanilla Blonde is like violet or ashy. In my opinion, Vanilla Blonde is warm. Again, something like this. Yes, gorgeous. Reflective. If you think vanilla, you think ice cream, you think light, but you think a golden tone. I do have a food formula video if you want more of those here on my channel. That is Shades EQ gloss formulas that are based on food. It didn't do as well as I thought it would, but it's there and you can watch it. So then we have warm gold. So warm gold is generally, and I'll pop an example up on there, but warm gold is generally a mixture of some gold with a little bit of copper, a bit of orange. So it's a gold and then it's got a little bit of copper or orange in it. It's one of my favorite shades. I use that sort of tone a lot in my toning. And this, you know, what we're talking about today, or in here, yes, is regardless of what brand you're using. This is across all brands. Numbering systems and lettering systems vary and differ, so please always check that online or with the brand that you're using. I do have a video that explains all of that, but this is across all brands. This is how you create tones and formulas, okay? So warm gold. Then we have copper blonde. Now copper blonde has a copper blonde has a higher percentage of copper. So it will have some gold in it, but it will have more of that copper tone. Copper tones are true oranges. They don't contain any red, because often reds in hair colouring can have a cool reflect. More of that in a while. So a copper is basically copper blonde is basically a true copper with some gold in it. Now, then we have, we'll finish on this one, then we're going to move on to things that are a bit cooler. Let's finish on rose gold. So in my opinion, rose gold is red, brown and gold. I'm looking at my notes because I have tons of notes and I don't want to forget anything. I want to pack everything and be as quick as we can. Rose gold is a mixture of red, brown and gold. In my opinion, it's more gold than there is red. And then a little bit of that brown tone in there just balances everything, because if you just mixed gold and red, it would be very strong. So it's predominantly gold because it's rose gold with a little bit of that red tone, just a little, and then a brown or tan tone, so a neutral tone. And there's something that sits in the middle of the color wheel, and that is what will give you a true rose gold. Something I'm asked for all the time. In my opinion as well, if you want a really true rose gold, I would probably lighten the canvas, tone it to be gold, and then I would probably use semi-permanent colors like color conditioners and direct dyes in order to get that rose gold tone, because it's a much easier way to produce a very true gold tone on a level 9 canvas and above. That was the warms, let's do the cools. Now, this particular tone, this tonal value deserves a segment all of its own. So here it is, beige. Yes, beige. Goodness me, there's a lot of chatter about what beige is. Beige is a cool tone and is a mixture of red and violet. So if you think mauve, that is generally speaking across all of the brands what a beige tone is. A few brands do say that it contains some gold, but in my opinion, a beige is a cool tone. For example, the NBs in Shades EQ Gloss, they are natural beige, okay? So, or neutral beige if you like, depending on what your own personal opinion is, but they have a red violet tone, quite a soft beige tone, okay? But most lines do have a pre-mixed beige, but if you wanted to make your own beige tone, then it would be a mixture of probably some neutral, then some red, soft red, and then some soft violet, because beige is, what is it? Ooh. Yes, cool. Now, and I'm sure there'll be people that don't agree with that, and that's completely fine, but as far as like technical color theory works, beige is a cool tone, okay? Now, mushroom falls into the category of beige. I'm going to pop on screen something that I did very recently that was a very cool mushroom. So it looks deeper than a 9. It was actually, the canvas was a level 8 for this, but it is that really mushroomy tone which a lot of people associate with beige. Of course, everybody has their own interpretation again of mushroom, yes, and that's completely fine, but I wanted to give beige its own little category. Do you have a favourite beige formula if you're a hair professional? Do you, with a particular brand? I'd love to know in the comments. But I wanted to give that its own segment because beige is out there and it's never going anywhere. Shall we get into some pastels and some icy formulas? Now, this is a top tip. If you are someone that DIYs at home, or if you're a hair pro and you struggle with formulating pastel colours, most toner lines, demi-permanent colours, toners, same thing. Same with direct dyes. Most of them have a clear, something that is white based, or if it's a demi-permanent colour, it will be a clear liquid that you can dilute, you can shear out the tonal value. So if you want to make a pastel pink or a pastel violet in my notes, what you would do is you would take a deeper level of violet or a deeper level of pink and you would add clear to it. The same way if it's a direct dye, like I tone my bleach out with direct dye in between using shades of couldst. I take an amethyst colour direct dye and a whole heap of clear and I mix it together and I pop it on, and that's what gives me this tone. I change it up every time I tone it really, because that's the kind of guy I am. But if you want to make a pastel, you need to shear out something that is either red, for obviously for pink, a true red, a properly true red, yes, or you need to shear out a deeper violet with something that is lighter in order to shear out that tone. So that's created some fun pastels and it works really, really well. And here's a top tip. If you are someone that is a hair pro or you do your own hair, if you shear out a deeper colour, so say you've got something that's violet and it sits at a level 6 and you put 4 parts clear with it to make it up to a level 10, because that level 6 violet is more pigmented, the chances are it will last in the hair for longer. Top tip, and that really does work. I used to do that all the time. I still do it. So let's talk icy blondes. So icy blondes, in my opinion, are a mixture and it's really simple, and people overthink it and they ask if it needs to have blue in it, green in it, does it need to have grey ash in it? No, it doesn't. If you want to keep your blonde icy and zingy, it's a mixture of violet and clear, or a demi-permanent colour or a direct dye that's been formulated on a lighter level. So that means that, it might be a level 11, around that sort of realm, but it has a little bit of violet, and then you will get a really lovely zingy result. You don't need blue, you don't need green, you definitely don't need grey. Grey is next to black. Silver blonde. Now, silver blonde, in my opinion, is a mixture of violet with a little bit of grey. So we've come on from the icy blonde, so you've got some violet, and then you have a little bit of grey to give you a true grey, to give you that silver tone. They can be punchy. When they process, they look very dark because that's the grey, and grey is next to black. Make sense? Oh, good, brilliant. Then we have pearl blonde. Now, pearl blonde is a very interesting one. If you think of a pearl is iridescent, like oil on water. So pearl tones, and this again goes across all the brands generally, are a mixture of violet, blue, with a little bit of grey. Okay, so if you don't have a pearl, you want to create your own pearl colour, then you would need some violet, some blue, and a little bit of grey. Remembering that grey is next to black, so it's very powerful. Blue is very powerful too, so you don't need very much of that. But the predominant tone would still be the violet on a level 9, because you want the violet to deal with the yellow, and then you want a little bit of that blue reflect, a tiny bit, and a tiny bit of that grey reflect, and then you get that beautiful pearl. Yes, lovely. Again, I'm sure people will have their own opinions of what makes up these tones. We've got through all the icy ones, and that was that. Worth mentioning one more time that the lightest canvas possible is always going to make it much easier for you to get a good result. That's why I have based this on a level 9. If you look at my other work on here, if you pop to my Instagram, which is not the World of Craig, it's Craig's World of Hair, you will see other examples of my work where everything is very translucent, and that's because lift is key. Now, whilst I can't give you individual formulas because it's just impossible remotely, I can help you with tonal values of what perhaps goes into a formula. So if there's something that I haven't featured in the video and you're upset that I didn't, then leave it in the comments and I will get back to you. I can't give you specifics, I just really can't. And there are many videos here on my channel, over 700, so the chances are there's a video with it in here anyway. Once again, a reminder that if you enjoy this and find it helpful, you know exactly what to do. I'm so chuffed that you come to my channel to watch this content. I love putting it together. My channel is a labour of love and I just think that you are also brilliant. So thank you again for all of your support. You all take lots of care and I'll see you all in the next one.